Hey guys, today I'm going to attempt to make oatmeal bread. I got a recipe from my sister and we're gonna be doing this one. Looks like it's from an old cookbook, so we're gonna try and navigate through this. So in a bag, my sister was gonna make this, but she didn't have time, so she already has some of the ingredients for me. We have 1 cup of quick oats, half a cup of whole wheat flour, and half a cup of brown sugar going in the bowl. And then also we are gonna put 1 tablespoon of salt. That's just an eyeball measurement. And then 2 tablespoons of margarine. And we're gonna mix this together. We wanna mix again because of the salt. You don't want a big taste of salt when you're eating a slice of this bread. So you just want to mix it so the salt gets combined really well. And then it says to pour over 2 cups of boiling water. Oh, it smells like oatmeal. All right. So we're gonna combine this until the sugar and the flour is melted, and the salt and the butter. All right, and then we're going to set this aside so it can cool to lukewarm. While that's cooling, we're gonna put, it says that it's just dry yeast. We're gonna give this active dry yeast a shot and see if it works. Usually with this, you're supposed to feed it, but we're gonna set it in lukewarm water for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna add it to the bowl of oatmeal and brown sugar, and that's where it's gonna get its food from. So we're going to let this set for probably 5 minutes, and then we're gonna add them together. All right, so our oats and our brown sugar and our wheat, salt, and margarine is cooled to lukewarm. So now we're gonna add in our yeast that we put in lukewarm water. And make sure you get all of it, because that's actually your yeast. Stir these together, and now we're going to add in 5 cups of all-purpose flour. Very carefully, and try not to get it all over your kitchen. I'm gonna add it in batches. We're going to form this into a dough, and once it's kind of looking like Play-Doh, we're gonna turn it out onto our counter, and we're gonna knead it for 5 to 10 minutes. And I actually learned a pretty nice method on kneading so that your arms don't fall off. And if you have a KitchenAid stand mixer or anything like that, you can put the dough hook on and just let it knead itself right here at this part, and it'll do it all for you. The only thing is you'll probably have to read the settings on like how long you need dough for, because you can overmix dough when it's in a stand mixer. You're never gonna overmix it by hand. Probably gonna undermix it. So you just want to, and if it's still sticky, it's gonna stick to your hands a little bit until the gluten is all worked in. But if you get most of the flour combined and you notice that it's still really sticky, then you start just adding a little bit of flour, very small amounts at a time, until it gets to, like I said, almost like Play-Doh. So mine is looking pretty good. So I'm going to get it off my fingers, and I'm actually gonna turn it out on my cabinet now. And make sure your work area is clean, because you don't wanna get any crumblies into your bread. So. And it doesn't need to be a lot of flour, because then you're gonna have too much in your bread. And I kind of like to have a little bit on the side just in case I need more. You can always put in, but you can never take out. Okay, so the basic kneading technique is you pull it over and you push it with your palm, and then you rotate it. So you pull it and you push. Pull, push, rotate. Pull, push, rotate. So you're gonna do that for a little bit until it gets a little more, less tacky. You're looking for kind of like Play-Doh. And you can rub your hands in the flour and then it won't stick to your hands as much. Eventually, we're going to work it so much that it's gonna bounce back. Like I said, like Play-Doh is the best description that I can give someone who's new at making any kind of bread or dough. So we're gonna do this for a little bit. And we're gonna do it for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so when you get to the point where you think your arm is gonna die because you're pushing and pulling and rotating, you can do this. I learned it off of the internet. So you roll it and you pull it back, and then you switch your other hand and you roll it till your palm is pushed out, and then you grab it and you pull it back with your fingers. So you're doing a side weight, like almost like an X across your countertop, and it's still kneading your bread to get the glutens. You're messing with the glutens to make your bread rise. Okay, so we kneaded ours for almost 10 minutes, and you wanna shape it into a ball. So I'm gonna go back to the rotating and then pushing and pulling until I kind of get a ball-like shape. It might not be perfect. And then you kind of use your hands to pinch it together and like pick it up and drop it, and you got your round ball. See, it's not sticky anymore and it kind of looks like Play-Doh. That is what you're going for. Then you get a clean bowl and put a little bit of olive oil on it, or oil, vegetable oil, you can use that as well. And you put your dough in there and you roll your dough around because it prevents sticking to your bowl, because this is going to double in size. You want to let it sit in a warm place for about an hour with a kitchen towel over it. Okay, so this is what your awesome oatmeal bread should look like after an hour. If you don't have any rise, that means your yeast was bad, and unfortunately, you gotta start over. So we're gonna punch it down and we're gonna cover it and let it rise for another 30 minutes. This is my favorite part. You just punch it down. And I'm just gonna fold it over back into its ball. It's gonna be bigger. Oh, something fell in. We don't want extra ingredients. Into a ball shape again, and I'm gonna flip it back over. And we're gonna cover it back up for another 30 minutes. Okay, we're back after 30 minutes, and it's risen up again. So now you want to punch it down again. And we're actually gonna take it out this time. And this is gonna make 2 loaf pans. So I'm gonna put it back in a ball, and I'm just gonna eyeball separating it. If you want to be exact, they have scales, food scales that you can use to make sure that yours are the same amount. I'm just gonna cut mine in half. I put it in a ball, and I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay, and then you want to shape them to fit into your loaf pan. I just have the standard size loaf pans, and it's gonna make 2. I did put some oil and flour in mine to keep the bread from sticking when it's baking in the oven. There's one. And mine are not gonna be perfect because I didn't measure them. I just eyeballed it, so. So now we have our 2 breads, and we're gonna put them in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 to 45 minutes. And after 30 minutes, we're gonna check them. We're gonna do the toothpick test. If it's clean, we'll take them out. If not, we'll leave them in for a few more minutes. All right, guys, so ours actually went the whole 40 minutes. in the oven, and they, this one, that guy over there kind of puffed up real good. And then because we oiled and floured our pans, they should come out super easy. But I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna put them on a cooling rack. And because this one puffed over so much, I'm gonna just kind of give him a little bit of help. Okay. All right, and then they just need to cool for maybe 10 minutes, and then you can slice it up, put some butter on it, toast it, make sandwiches. I've never tried it, but we're going to. I think it's vegan. I'm not totally 100% sure that margarine is considered vegan, but if it is, then it is vegan. Thank you guys. Enjoy your bread.